It's boner time, everyone. Fantasy Football Jibber Jabber Week Siete, as we say as they say in Polish. I don't know. Kevin Gootee, Nick Whitmer. We are back after a winning week, right?
I guess it was a terrible week. Technically 11, 10, and 1, so I guess that's a winning week if you think about it in that way. But yeah, it definitely sucked. A lot of shit went bad for me. The New England Patriots are forever off of my list. I will never bet them ever again. If the Patriots are playing Mississippi A&M tomorrow, I would bet Mississippi A&M. Like I would this is the worst team I've ever seen play football. And Mac Jones makes Kenny Pickett look like fucking Elway. Like this guy's a mental midget. He stinks. I don't like him. He has mom hips, and that's it. Yeah, still bitter. But on to Cincinnati.
There we go. And then another first down. Olave, hey, I have him in a prop. I was 14, 10, and 1 last week. I felt jobbed on that Denver push. God, they stink.
Yeah, we're lucky we got the 11. Everybody else lost that half point. Yeah, Denver plus 11 last Sunday. We hit 11 on the nose, and it's all Sean Payton's fault. He calls that timeout, and they get to kick that field goal before half. If that field goal never happens, we're good.
But, hey, my buddy English Johnny, he got 11 and a half. He told me. I go, you son of a bitch. Good on you.
Where the fuck did he get 11 and a half?
He's in London. They have wonky books over there.
Yeah. All right. Let's say this guy's pulling Jeff Paul numbers out of his ass.
No. He tells stories. Well, let's go, Nick. Kick it off. What do we have on Thursday night?
Well, we're sitting here watching the Thursday night football game. We started a little later than we usually do. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are favored by 2.5 with a total of 41. It's currently 7-0 Jags with the Saints driving. I have the Saints money line and the under 41. Both of them not looking so hot at the beginning, but it's very early. And we'll see how Derek Carr fucks this up. And that's the second drop pass. Good job, Saints. Way to show up in your own home arena on Thursday night primetime football, you fucking losers.
Yeah. A lot of beeping in this episode already.
Yeah. Got nothing else to say about this game other than what I just said.
Well, we have the under. That the Saints have 20 straight unders. That's bonkers. I have.
I think it's 12 straight. Going on 13, which would be the record, but it's like 17 of the last 18 or something. There was one over in there a long time ago, but yeah, we're going for like 13 straight unders for the Saints.
Yeah,
I believe that's the.
I juxtapose. Ew, what a horrible throw!
God, you actually stink.
Great for the under. So I have the Saints under 40.5. I have them on the money line, and I have a couple just I don't know. I don't count these if I hit them or not, but there's a couple parlays. Kamara over 4.5 catches, Saints and team total under 20.5. Then I have another one just for a little. Kamara over 25 receiving, Evan Engram over 25 receiving, and Olave over 50 on the alt line.
Doesn't matter. The Saints stink. This bet's toast. Fuck it. On to 1 o'clock. Are we?
Yeah. It's funny. I said the kid Croupy, the kicker, looks like Shermanator from American Pie.
Oh my god, probably gets the same amount of pussy too. Fucking loser. Nice kick.
That was
right.
Bad.
We got the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. The banished New England Patriots are getting 9 points at home with a total of 40. Pass. I got nothing on this game. I'm not watching a second of it, and I hope both teams implode.
I think when the Pats lose again this week, Bill Belichick's going to take Mac Jones to the parking lot and then put him through a table while then filling a catheter of wing sauce and jamming it into Mac Jones' urethra. That's how much Bill Belichick hates Mac Jones now. I have a teaser. I can't say, now it's almost like auto bet against the Patriots because there's just nothing that strikes your fancy about them. I teased them down to -2. I teased them with the Lions to +10. I think the Lions are going to at least, I think they're going to win, but I'll take the 10 points. But more importantly, I'm going to get the Bills down to -2. It's supposed to be windy as all hell. And I don't think that Josh Allen will be able to air it out as much as he wants to, but enough that the Bills can win by a field goal for sure against that team. Buffalo, by the way, 5-1 against the spread against New England of late, 6-1 straight up. Pats 1-9 against the spread their last 10. New England 1-6 straight up their last 7. The Pats are 0-6 ATS at home of late. 1-4 at home against the spread versus Buffalo. I dare you to take the points, guys. I dare you.
Yeah, I got a fantasy football hot trash play for this game. That's anybody wearing a Patriot helmet.
I was gonna say that
they're all gone. Yeah, all hot trash. Yeah, the Bills usually cover these games and stuff, but Josh Allen's battling an AC joint sprain, and we saw Derek Carr with his first game back from that looking kind of bad. And Josh Allen's one of those guys. He's tough, he'll play, but I feel like these injuries affect his accuracy, and I want none of this. I think the only thing you can logically do is probably what you did if you're, but it's not a long teaser, so I'm stepping away.
It is. I teased it with the 7-point teaser. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, you did 7 through 3. Oh yeah, I see. You had 9. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Next game, the Detroit Lions at the Ravens of Baltimore. Baltimore's getting laying 3 points with a total of 43. This is bananas, this game. The line seems weird. I would make this line Ravens -1. Not really quite sure why it's 3. There's a few things I keep hearing from everybody. One is that this is
Bumble recovered by the Saints. There you go.
There we go. Saints. There we go. Everybody's like, Detroit, sell high in Detroit, sell high in Detroit. Take the Ravens. I'm like, what do you mean sell high? They're getting 3 points. What are you saying that this line should be like Ravens -4? I don't understand the logic here with the sell high thing. I get Detroit's on fire, 14-2 against the spread coming into week 7 in their last 16 games. And they're a 3-point dog, and they've gone 6-1 straight up and 7-0 against the spread in their last 7 games as a dog. I took the Lions +3. I've been saying it all year. I think the Ravens are overrated. I don't think that they're a real team. This is a thing, like, everybody's thinking they're due for a breakout because they had all those drop passes against Pittsburgh, and then they had to settle for all those field goals last week. What if that's just who this team is? They stink. They're not good in the red zone. They're not buttoned up. They're not an efficient team. This is kind of very much a Baltimore Ravens team that we've seen the last few years where they fizzle out towards the end of the year. Yeah, they beat up on some bad teams, but the Lions are good. So I'm paying to be wrong here. It's a fishy line. I completely understand the logic of taking the Ravens and fading the Lions, but can't do it. Lions +3. How about you?
Lions are 4-1 against the spread. Their last 5 on the road. Also 4-1 their last 5 against the AFC. I will also let you all know that Lamar Jackson is 15-1 straight up against the NFC, but 7-9 against the spread. And of those 7, a lot of trashy quarterbacks he's faced in the meantime. I too have the Lions +3, as well as in not 1, right? Or 2 teasers. Yes, 2 teasers I have them in. So I also am on this Jared Goff train of him being successful. The only thing that scares me is I don't know what running back's going to be there. Is it Craig Reynolds? I'd rather have Craig Mack or Craig Robinson than Craig Reynolds. But here we are.
Yeah, I don't. It's one of those overvalued positions anyway. Everybody tells you the running back doesn't mean anything anymore, and then the Lions don't have any running backs, and then all of a sudden that's the reason why they're going to lose the game. So. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff going on with this game. I get it. They don't have running backs, but I think that Reynolds kid can definitely play, even though I don't think he practiced. God, Carr stinks. Anyway, I still like the Lions. On to the next game. We have the Washington Commanders at the New York Giants. Your Giants are getting 2.5 at home. Total of 37.5. I'll let you open with this one.
Well. I have a fantasy football
Your
play before
Giants.
I get in there. My Giants. I'm taking Brian Robinson, the running back, $5,800. I'll bet on Joe Biden to complete a full sentence without staring off into space and then breaking into his recipe for green bean casserole before I expect the Giants to stop the run. 6 running backs this year. Pollard, Connor, McCaffrey, Kenneth Walker, Raheem Mostert, and Devon Achane have scored at least 13.9 PPR against the Giants. Robinson has at least 13.1 PPR in 4 out of 6 in previous meetings against the Giants, 13.1 and 12.4. Cheap price for the inevitable. Speaking of inevitable, besides, Nick.
Did you see this?
Let me see.
This dude, like,
Oh, it got hit.
It
It hit him in the back and hit the return guy. And the Saints recovered?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That
is
that? Two insane bounces. And that's holding on 27, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know if they're calling it, though. There was no flag there. That's hilarious.
Jesus Christ. If they blow this game.
It was his own guy who hit him, too. Like, the other guy. And I don't think he really pushed him into him either. It looked like they were just drifting that way. I don't know. That was crazy. This game's crazy.
The one team, listen, there's one constant here. The Giants do beat the Skins consistently. The Giants are 4-1 against the spread against the Skins. The Giants are 6-2-1 their last 9 against the Skins. Also, but on the flip side, Giants are 1-6 against the spread and straight up of late. Washington is 7-2 against the spread their last 9 on the road. But I'm telling you what, man. This is it's going to sound so dumb, but this is do or die for the Giants. Yes, they look good against the Bills, and I did not see that coming. I was shocked that it came to that point, and I had a lot of money on Buffalo, so there you go. And this is it for the Giants. If they lose, you can just kiss any possibility of getting a playoff run or even just finishing with respectability down the drain. They do have an easier schedule. They have them. They have the Jets. I forgot who and then the Raiders. Things start to get easier. I think they absolutely win this game. I teased in the +8 with the Seahawks. I'm going to put a little bit on the money line for them. I think this is the all hands on deck game. If they lose this, it's game over, man. Game over.
Yeah, I agree. I'm on that teaser, and I mean the you know this as a Giants fan, the Giants own Washington. Washington stinks. I had the numbers earlier. I can't find them, but I think they're like 1-5 against the spread the last 6. Not good. I also did a money line round robin of underdogs this week, and on my list of 100% was definitely the Lion or the Giants. I'll have to get that list a little bit later on. But yeah, I have that teaser. I teased Seattle down to 2, the Giants up to 8. I think it makes sense. These totals are all low this week because the unders are murdering it this year. I'm killing totals too, and that's probably why, because I usually am an under better. So it's gonna be a little bit harder to pick and choose which unders I like, because I feel like this is a tough week. There's not a lot of value on these unders because they've been hitting so much. But on to the next one, we have the Browns at the Colts. Colts are getting 3 with a total of 40.5. This might be my underplay of the week, actually, speaking of that. Other than that, I don't have much on this. I did like the Browns initially at 2. I hesitated because I wasn't sure who was playing quarterback, and then it went to 3, which I think kind of indicates we might have Watson back. But Browns are also off a big win, and Colts are off of a loss where they outgained the Jags. So the motivational edge could go to the Colts, but the Colts stink and they're turnover prone. The Browns defense is good. So I don't got a lot on this. What do you have?
I have nothing, although you did just strike a chord. I think that under should be a play. What is that number?
40.5. Yeah. That's the play. That's the only play.
It's in Indy.
It's in Indy. Yeah.
I was going to say weather could be a factor and make that even more intriguing, but I mean,
well, if this pussy Colts didn't play outside, I mean, think of it. Peyton Manning would probably have how many Super Bowls would Peyton Manning have if the Colts were an outdoor team?
Who cares? He had the top 2 receivers of that time, and a Hall of Fame running back as well, and a borderline tight end. Borderline Hall of Fame tight end, and he only won 1 Super Bowl. Fuck off, Peyton Manning.
Yeah, well, he won 2, but
he won 1 with Denver, so I'm not counting that. How do you have? It's like having a Ferrari and like, I'm just never going to drive it out at 20 miles.
Well,
an hour. That's it.
The reason why is because he fucking played at the worst place you could play, which is out fucking or inside in a dome. And then NFL, when you have to go play the Patriots every goddamn playoff in New England because they had the worst division ever, and Tom Brady just guaranteed to have 6 wins, so all he had to do was win 4 more games, and you'd get a freaking home playoff berth. I'm still bitter about that. Perfect. We are in there with the under 41 for the Browns Colts games on Caesars. Now we're going to the Falcons at the Bucks. The Bucks are favored by 2.5 points with a total of 37. I got the Bucks -2.5. I like this line. I think I'm fading the Falcons. And I have the Bucks first half -1. Our boy Desmond Ritter's 0-10 against the spread. In the first half in his career. I think this is a good spot for the Bucks. I think last week they actually had some. They actually moved the ball well. They had some inopportune batted down passes. We had a wide open Mike Evans that would have gone to the house for 80 yards, batted down at the line of scrimmage. So I think that this Bucks team is talented, and I think that Atlanta's defense is pretty good, but I think against the pass, they're not as good as people say they are. I think Baker will be able to put up yards, and I like this game in Tampa Bay. Desmond Ridder on the road is not as very good. Divisional game, the Bucks will be ready. I just like the number 2.5. I mean, I feel like this is a three-point game, and I think the Bucks win it. What do you got?
I have that the Atlanta Falcons are 0-5 against the spread of late. 1-5 straight up against Tampa. Tampa, though, 2-5 against the spread at home. I have a fantasy play. Cold cash receiver. We're going to go with Drake London. If that's not the name of a boy band background dancer or someone who paints with his penis on his OnlyFans channel, I don't know what is. Desmond, thank you. Drake London. He has scored 14.7 points 3 times, including 2 in a row of late. He has scored 11.8 points in every game this season where he has had at least 7 targets, which has happened in the last 3 games. Tampa Bay has allowed 8 receivers to score at least 12.6 points this season, and the last time he faced the Bucks, he had 6 for 120 on 8 targets. I am not playing for some dumb reason, and I texted this to you. I think this game screams 21-20, and that's why I took the Bucks on the money line. I don't trust them, even with 2.5. Baker, there's something. My spider sense is tingling. My butthole's tingling. I do not like it. I do not like Sam I am, green eggs and ham. I also have the Tampa Bay Bucks first half on the money line. Again, same reason. Atlanta 0-10 Desmond Ridder in the first half against the spread of late. I'm just going to go right to the point, right to the chase, and take the Bucks first half money line. That's what I have in these 2 picks.
There you go. We are on to the Las Vegas Raiders at the Chicago Bears. The Bears are now getting 2.5 at home with a total of 37.5. At 3.5, I lean the Bears, and I took it in one of our contests that we're in. But in terms of a bet, I got nothing here, especially at 2.5. Garoppolo's out, Fields is out. It's another one of those games that the under is tempting. 37.5. It's going to be outside in Chicago, so we could have some wind. But until I hear definitively, last week, all I heard all week was how bad the weather was going to be in these games. I had day of the San Francisco-Cleveland game and the Minnesota-Chicago game. I took under longest field goals, which were both like around 45 or 46.5 yards. And then the opening possession, the Vikings nail a 53-yarder, no question. And then later, Dustin Hopkins hit a 50-yarder. Both those bets were dead pretty early. And I'm just like thinking about this shit about the weather. And I'm like, this weather, like nothing. Like, unless I see 90-degree rain, fuck it. I'm just not going to assume the weather's bad until I turn on the TV and I see flags blowing. So until I see that, I'm not taking the under in this game. Other than that, nothing.
Yeah, I tease the Bears under to 44.5. You have 2 backup quarterbacks who flat out stink. This game's going to be run, again, with the possibility of wind. I tease this with the Green Bay Denver under to 52. I want you to tell me, I know Denver has gone over a lot, but you know why? Because their defense stinks. So that's why. I think that the Packers, even though off the bye, I think they're going to put up some points. I just don't think they'll put up nowhere near 52. And again, the Bears, they're not putting up points. They're not good at football. So teaser with that one. 52 for Green Bay, under for the Bears, 44.5.
There we go. We're on to the 4:00 slate. We have the Arizona Cardinals at the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle laying 7.5 points with a total of 44.5. I think we both teased Seattle, correct?
Yes, sir.
When they were laying 8, I teased them down to 2. I mentioned it before with the New York Giants, but I also teased them with Miami,
right?
Getting 8 as well. That's all I have in this game. James Conner out for the Cardinals. He seems to be the straw that stirs the drink. And I think the Seahawks might win this handedly, but it is a divisional game, so I'm not going to lay the 8 or 7.5. So I happily tease this, and that's all.
I think I'm going to grab Seattle in the second half. The one of the podcasts I was listening to said that Arizona, they just fall apart by the seams in the second half, and they just don't finish games at all. So they do come out strong in the first half. I think I'm going to hit them in the second half and grab that as well. So I got to write that down.
I think that might be like 2 straight games that they were winning at halftime and got blown out. Like weird.
Well,
it's
the Giant,
like they want to lose.
The Giant game is a perfect case in point. How
that's another one too. Yeah,
ripped our tits off in the first half, and then we came back and just buried them in the second one. This under is still looking good. I mean, 10 points at the quarter. We're still on pace.
Yeah,
unless he throws a bomb here, I just jinxed it. Nope, that's just a first down. Okay, what's the next game?
We got my Pittsburgh Steelers at the Los Angeles Rams -3 with a total of 43.5. Yeah, Steelers off of a bye. Tomlin's 9-7 against the spread. I don't know what to make. This has this game as a Steelers fan, it reminds me of the Houston game where we were supposed to come in and get pressure and do all these things. And I just don't think the Steelers are all that good this year. I lean Rams -3, but I'm not taking it.
I would love to take the Rams. In fact, I may grab them on the money line. Depends on how I do later on in the early window. I just the Tomlin off a bye scares the living shit out of me. That's for sure. And they are getting a few guys back. Maybe Deontay Johnson. I think he was practicing in full today again. So I may grab them on the money line. I don't think they'll win outright. By the way, I goofed. Sorry, I forgot to give a cold cash tight end play. Logan Thomas, how did he do last week? 1 catch, 2 yards. That's pretty awful, but not as awful as being 6 train stops away from your house while you feel those diarrhea shivers coming on, or even worse, having the Patriots +3 and then getting safety in the final play of the game. That's even worse. But
yeah.
There's a common theme is the Giants don't stop the run. And what's the other theme? The Giants never, ever, ever stop the tight end. Thomas had 10.2 PPR in the 2 previous of his 3 games. He had 9 for 77 for 11 targets against the Bears in week 5. The Giants have allowed 4 tight ends to score at least 8.3 PPR this season. Give me give me Logan Thomas, and he's only $3,500. Pretty cheap.
We have the Los Angeles Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are currently laying 5.5 with a total of 48. 19 of the Chargers' last 24 games have been decided by 7 points or less, dating back to week 18 of 2021. The Chargers' 8 losses during that time are by 3-3. 2-1, 3-7, 3-6. I took the Chargers when they were getting 6. At 5.5, I still lean that way. But you never know with a team like the Chiefs can be kind of public. So if it's sitting here at 5.5, I would just wait and see if it touches 6 again and take it at 6. That's my buy price. But other than that, nothing on this game. What about you?
The Chargers are sneaky good against the Chiefs. Are they successful in winning games? No, they're not. They're 2-4 against the spread their last recent games, 2-5 straight up, but against the Chiefs, 5-1 against the spread of late, but 3-15 straight up. Chargers, though, 6-2 against the spread their last 8 in Kansas City, 8-4 against the spread their last 12 overall on the road. Kansas City, though, 4-1 against the spread their last 5, 5-0 straight up, 9-1 straight up their last 10 at home. As I said before, 1-4 against the spread when playing at home against the Chiefs. I really went for that cushion. I teased the Chargers at +12.5 with the Lions to +10. I really like that bet.
The Green Bay Packers at the Denver Broncos. Broncos are getting 1 point with a total of 45. Here's a number that favors Green Bay. Since 2003, road favorites off of a bye have gone 77, 49, and 2 against the spread, 61%. I still, though, teased Denver up to 7.5 with San Francisco down to 0.5 point. I just think this is one of those games that just kind of the line stinks. It's begging you to take the Packers. I think Love kind of stinks. I think the Broncos defense is starting to get right. They're not going to be historically bad. They have some guys on that defense. I mean, they have 2 or 3 guys in the secondary who are very good. They have some young pass rushers. I just think whatever is going on with Denver is maybe a culture problem or something. But I don't think they're going to give up loads of yards and points to the Packers, and I think the Packers kind of suck.
Loads.
So I like teasing Denver up to 7.5. I'm probably on an island though by myself doing that. What do you got?
Oh, I may bite. I just don't see Green Bay coming off the bye and you're laying 1. I mean, this could be the trap. What am I missing? I don't know. Aaron Jones has been practicing in full. I have him in fantasy, so I'm on top of this. I mean, the Denver rush defense is absolute fucking unfiltered garbage. There goes Lawrence. And boy, if you bet the over, that would really stink. Hopefully, flag in the play. Never mind. Green Bay of late, 7-3 against the spread. They're 2-4 straight up. I mean, I think I may be taking them minus the 1. I see your point for teasing. Would you be surprised though if they come back? Everybody's healthy now, and they put on an air raid show and just bomb the shit out of them. I wouldn't be.
I would. I don't think the Packers' offense is all that. I mean, I get that they have Jones and they get Watson and stuff, but Dobbs has proven to be what? I mean, their tight end has proven to be what? What has Love done? Like, I think there's a lot of like maybe potential that people fall in love with, but I don't think they've ever like put together anything that makes me think that they're going to all of a sudden start doing it on the road in altitude. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, listen, I'm like I said, I'm on an island here betting Denver, so I totally get it. On to Sunday night, we have the Miami Dolphins at the Philadelphia Eagles. Currently, Philly is laying 2.5 with a total of 52. You want to start this one off?
I have watching another touchdown.
14-3. Great.
Amazing. I have the Dolphins teased to +8 with you. I another podcast was saying how Philly, they're great in the first quarter. The differential scoring is a lot better than their defense is great in the first quarter. Miami obviously puts up numbers. Philly can churn out that clock. I'm waiting to see, do they get the kickoff? If they get the kickoff, that's an auto bet for me. Just to see how that rolls, but I can't find that number I had. I think I was texting you guys before. Let me see if I can find that real fast. Oh, by the way, that Chiefs game, I forgot to tell you, I had the Chiefs on the money line in the second half. Why? Chargers, when leading at the half especially, 7, 24, and 2. That's not good. Let's go. I cannot find this. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so Philadelphia in the first quarter. I'm probably going to grab that as soon as they we see who the kickoff is.
I got Philly -2 for the game. Listening to on the Action Network, Simon Hunter is a big Philly fan. Very smart bettor too, but he was talking about this is a game against circled basically. Big mismatch for Miami. We see Miami destroy all these bad teams. And then they played Buffalo, and Buffalo, before they were decimated by injuries, had a very impressive front. And Tua just couldn't get comfortable after the first quarter in that game. And this game kind of has that same recipe. So we have to see if Tua can overcome this Philly front. Jalen Carter's supposed to be back. Darius Slay's supposed to be back in the secondary. We have and Miami's defense hasn't really been all that good either. So, in terms of, I mean, we Carolina was putting points up on them last week. So I'm going Eagles -2. And then I mentioned it earlier, the Seattle teaser with Miami, Seattle to -2, Miami to +8. But that's all I got for here. And now on to Monday Night Football, where we have the San Francisco 49ers at the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are getting 6.5 with a total of 44. I mentioned it before. I teased San Francisco down when they were getting 7.5 down to 7. Down to a half a point with Denver getting 7.5. Yeah, we have Kirk Cousins in prime time. We have a bunch of injuries for San Francisco. It's just a recipe for disaster. I think San Francisco definitely wins this game, but I don't know if they're going to win by more than 7. And I don't know if Kirk Cousins is going to throw 4 interceptions. I don't know. So I did the safe thing. I teased it.
Hot trash quarterback play of the week, Kirk Cousins.
Hey.
Kirk Cousins in prime time is as appealing as watching Chinese people slurp noodles. Kirk Cousins without Justin Jefferson is as attractive as Lena Dunham doing naked cartwheels. And Kirk Cousins.
How about anybody slurping noodles?
There's
no one who's good at that.
That's fair too. And Kirk Cousins against the Niners defense after a bad loss is as enticing as sitting in the studio audience for 5 consecutive tapings of The View and then have dummies clap when Whoopi Goldberg talks about the weather. That's how unappealing Kirk Cousins is as a fantasy play. $6,900. Yuck. He has scored fewer than 14 points in 2 of his last 3 games. And Joshua Dobbs, by the way, is the only quarterback with more than 15.9 points against the San Fran defense. By the way, another fun fact. Do you know that the Niners have more interceptions than touchdowns allowed to quarterbacks? 10-5. San Fran has allowed the 3rd fewest fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks, average of 9.8 a week. Yuck, yuck, and vomit. Rim shot.
Boom. Well, that's the slate for this week. Hopefully we're better. I mean, you did better than I did last week. But yeah, hopefully we're good. I'm going to recap these picks we have here. Got Chargers +6, Lions +3, Bucks -2.5, Eagles -2, Bucks -1 in the first half, and then the Jacksonville Saints under 41. And then I have 3 teasers: Seattle and Miami to -2 to +8, Seattle and the Giants -2 to +8, San Francisco and Denver -0.5 point and +7.5, and the Saints money line, which is not going to cash. So call that a loss right here. But yeah, that's all I got. Not a lot of plays this week. I will be live in the prop market as we usually are on Sunday morning. And we'll go from there. But what do you got? You want to recap yours?
Yeah, the recap that before that pass, Derek Carr was 5 for 11 for 35 yards. Yuck. Detroit +3. Wow. Jacksonville under 40.5. Uh-oh. Seattle -2. Sorry. Yeah, Seattle -2. Miami +8. Seattle -2. Giants +8. Tampa Bay money line. Chargers +12.5. Lions +10. Chiefs second half money line, Saints money line, Tampa Bay first half money line, Lions +10, Bills -2, and another teaser, Philly first quarter, Green Bay -1 probably, Green Bay under 52 teased with the Bears under 44.5, Giants money line, Cleveland under 41, and Seattle second half probably as well. That's what I have so far.
Wow, with that touchdown run, ETN just went over his season-long touchdowns. Wow. Usually just blind undering every running back and quarterback for yards and touchdowns is it's profitable. But if you had ETN, you lost. But yeah, so check us out. If you're listening to us via podcast, give us a 5-star review. If you're watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're looking at these clips on, well, this isn't going to be a clip of me saying this right now, so I guess that doesn't apply. But if you ever see us on Instagram, like us there too, I suppose. Yeah, that's the business I got for today.
Word. And don't forget Gutting the Sacred Cow podcast. As you hear it, this week's episode is Goodfellas with Don Jameson, and boy, is he drawing ire from all sides. Next week, we're going to tape Rushmore, and the week after that, we'll be airing Gladiator, and then, oh God, the Amityville Horror. Oh, Derek Carr, why do I trust you with my money? And that's that. Don't forget, like Nick said, give us that 5-star rating, 2 or 3 sentence review on Gutting the Sacred Cows podcast and Fantasy Football Jibber Jabber too. How dare I forget that? But this has always been a blast. Let's continue our trend. I am 91, 56, and 62% against the spread this year. Having a good run. I know you're doing pretty much the same as well. So keep following us, turn on your notifications, and listen. Let's all make out. Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
Is it on Derek Carr for being terrible? Is that a flag if you're just bad at football?
No. There's Doug Peterson celebrating. Pass interference offense. Even better. Okie doke.
You can't even cheat well. Yuck.
All right, kids. Aloha.
Ugh. God, Derek Carr sucks.